GG versus G1, but only one struggle bus can chug away to Sunday. And this will be the final GG of the year for one of these teams.
That's the scary part. This is the end of the line.
Yeah.
The final stop for one of these teams. One of them's got to move on. The entire year-long season comes down to this.
G1 trying to stay positive after yesterday, but knowing, we stopped by the scrim room, they are giving it their all. But it's so difficult with the pressure that today presents, to the outside noise of the fans. But you almost depended on Oli to make that first start for them.
And that's, been the frustrating thing for G1. We got to talk to him a little bit. It really is those frustrations outside of the game that's getting to them. An opportunity here, I think, to kind of turn things around, but Gladiators are certainly no easy win. And right off the rip here, we got a Rule 1 Oli and OSM in the corner. Well, what like 30 seconds into this thing, and they're already going at it.
Okay, 2v2, and G1 working on that offense. Yeah, let me get that.
We gotta start keeping track of how soon these Rule 1s happen. That might be the fastest one I've ever seen in the series.
How long is it gonna last though? Because no one's scoring.
At least till someone scores. I feel like at this point you can't break away from it. And there you go. Atomic's gonna put the first one away.
About time. A lot of respect for G1 with just how much they have to overcome after today. And it was Atomic, LCT missing that touch just to really get this out of their own end, find the clear, and G1 cut that right corner. But what's nice is there's no expectations for these teams. So they gotta relax. With the Swiss stage, you're taking it match by match. You have one match per day, and this is do or die.
It certainly is. We got to cast Gladiators early on in this tournament against Moist, and it was a rough go. Moist just seems so composed, so controlling of the pace of play. They're getting a lot more opportunities already against G1, despite being down a goal. Good opportunity there towards the net. But it's been those double commits that have really hurt Gladiators. Just feels like they fall out of sync and they can never get back on track.
Yeah, it was just kind of that minor offense there from Gladiators off the back wall, but no follow-up as G1 slammed their second one in. Fist bumps all around, and a big bounce back from yesterday.
Yeah, Atomic already got 2. And LCT is clear. He wanted to get it out a little bit harder, but Max got bumped out of the way, and then Atomic comes through and puts it home. G1 commanding here in game 1 so far.
And speaking of that mental, I know it's not a good start for Gladiators being down 0-2, but spoke with OSM, says they're feeling much better. And they honestly think they could do some damage against G1 and are confident since, well, Gladiators did better against Elevate than G1 did. So they're trying to make APAC proud. They're trying to be inspired by what Elevate did yesterday. Yeah,
if you were here right at the beginning of the stream, Veracity opened up the stream with the lovely Marky Duda. And he was saying that, if they win, they're going to make G1 retire. Something along that line.
I love that.
So there's confidence there, at least from Marky. And I think the Gladiator guys, hold on.
Ooh.
Only getting a couple flip resets. LSM on Twitter, he was saying, a learning experience here at this wild card. And I think so far it has been. Big opportunity here, though, against G1. But right now, it feels like G1, boy, they are just controlling the pace of play. Full control right now as Oli looking to push this one across.
Ooh, off the ceiling. Atomic right in the box. Just had to get out of the way. G1 are looking good as the offenses keep rolling. And Oli gets past a few to the right post. Nothing else CT could do.
Good looks there from Oli, and he got a lot of time on the ball here. You can see he pulled off. He got 2 to jump. Max still was able to recover, but then LCT couldn't get up at all to make the save. Oli puts it home, and a 3-0 lead for G1.
Yeah, I'm not a great lip reader, but I see OSM saying it's fine, right? He was the former coach of this team, now playing at Worlds for his first time with this team. He's the one that really has to rally the troops. Gladiators not able to take a game, but they are confident against G1. But how can you be 4-0 now?
2 for Oli, 2 for Atomic, and G1 are rolling here in the first 30 minutes. And what a touchdown. And again, the last man in Gladiators just can't come up with the touch. And G1, they have been walking it in now.
G1 obviously playing like their lives are on the line because it is the season could end here, but to prove the haters wrong, because there's so much noise about how yesterday went, and even the desk were like, well, G1 on paper should win this series. But after what we saw, who knows? But clearly G1, after the scrims today, at the start of the day, are feeling good. They're looking good in game 1. 4-0 is a very commanding start to the series.
It certainly is. And I would say, for the most part, the expectation here, despite what we saw yesterday out of G1, they've done a good job. Lots of space afforded to him. And here comes Oli. Can he do it himself? Flip reset inbound, and all of the defense of Gladiators was there, and they're able to turn him away.
14 shots to 2 right now in favor of G1. Like, that's tough. 62% of ball touches is something that you noted in that first match. Gladiators struggle to get possession of the ball at all. Their backs are against the wall, and they continue to be.
A hat trick trickles in for Atomic, and Oli was the one to set him up. But you're right. It's kind of very similar to game 1 against Moist for Gladiators, where no possession, you feel a lot of pressure from the opposition, you can't break out from your own side, and things have not turned for the better here as Atomic getting multiple touches. So you can see there at the top right of your screen, Moist up 1-0 over Elevate so far. That one's on the B stream if you want to check things out.
That's going more according to plan of what we expected out of Moist. Great passes between LCT, OSM, and Max misses the touch, but it's the rebound that they found in the first one for Gladiators.
And you're seeing here a burst of offense from Gladiators. This looks great. Great passing play. Gladiators look great here in the final 42 seconds, but it feels like too little too late.
It is, but it's Gladiators who probably already are thinking about game 2. You know, when you're down 4-0, going into the second half, obviously possible, but you're seeing the frustrations. I'm seeing shaking heads of don't worry about it. Warm up, you know, game 1 warm up. Let's go next, GG go next. But you're seeing a lot more confidence showing out of Gladiators. OSM has been that setup player for them. LCT farther back, playing maybe for the last time with this duo. Max, who've been together for so long. You need to see that synergy on the field. Couple more seconds left.
Well, I was just going to say, as we were alluding to, it's very similar to the Moist series so far, and it just feels like the last minute, Gladiators turn it on, but G1, they put them in such a deep hole. There was just no way for them to get out here, and Atomic and Oli, look at the scoreline there. Well, you can't see it, but I can see it. Atomic, 547 points, Oli, 640. Dorito, here's chilling. 138 points, an assist, had 3 shots, a couple demos there. Everyone working in sync here from G1, and they were scrimming hard this morning. It's paid off here in game 1.
Think about game 2, and is that consistency gonna be there? Because G1, we've known that they have these, we know that they have this high potential, and they obviously haven't shown it. Both these teams are 0-2, and we definitely thought that G1 were gonna be able to take at least a series. You know, think about the one against Elevate. Are they gonna struggle against APAC? So far, not against Gladiators.
Can't say it's the same against Gladiators here so far. And I think G1, this is more or less where they wanted to be coming into this tournament. Like you said, I'm looking at, what, 16 shots there for the side of G1. It doesn't really get much better than that.
It was tough. Gladiators were looking to make that space, but were just barely able to keep ahead. The stare down is just terrifying.
Wow, he put the thumb down and then lowered the arm. That's a power move.
The eyebrow? Even his teammate is questioning what he's like, hey, focus the game.
I don't want to say
his
anything.
coach is like, hey, game 2 starting.
I feel like I'm about to get fired.
There's game 2 with a 5-1 start for G1 in game 1, where Gladiators just be able to kick off an offense. That's what they really lack. The clears, the counterattacks, but look how much pressure G1 put on when they do have the ball.
I think that's really the key here, right, for Gladiators is they're going to need to find the offense. Something similar to what G1 had is that one's wide open for Oli, and G1 picking up where they left off with a 1-0 lead.
OSM didn't have clear control. You have Oli that pinches it down, smart move. Goes right back into his hands. And even when Gladiators have possession, it's shaky, it's stealable, and G1 just loom for their chance to take it away. And right off a kickoff, it's an open net for Oli.
2 quick ones again for G1, and a disaster kickoff from Gladiators allows G1 to open things up here in the first 30 seconds. And I mean, looking at the demeanor on the G1 side, they're obviously very happy with the way this series is going. Definitely different than what we saw yesterday against Elevate. They're getting the job done, but we're only 30 seconds into game 2.
Like the challenges coming out of Gladiators, if only would hit the ball and try to take that possession away from G1. Gladiators inching their way forward. Max misses that. Oli flicks it above. Noah send that third man back. Gladiators push forward off the back wall, pinching it off a few defenders. His cross is in front of the net. Max collides in the 50s to the side.
And another good look there for Gladiators. Tough shot for Max. He had multiple G1 players in front of him. Here comes Atomic, and he's going to beat the defense back in a 3-0 lead for G1.
It was a good attempt at the dive, but that's what we wanted to see more of, is the power of these counterattacks, because there's no counterattack if you're just permanently on offense the way that G1 was. That's how G1 were able to punish this now to go up 3-0. Where Gladiators at least are having signs of life. Maybe not in the net. No, Atomic can't finish it off.
It's certainly not in the kickoff. That was another one that almost trickled in for G1. Right off the rip. Cannot allow the freebies. At least make G1 earn it. And Atomic trying to do that. He gets by 2. A lot of possession going over to G1, working the corners, finding the crosses and baiting in Gladiators, and there's some tough challenges here. Gladiators trying to find some possession, and that certainly could happen here with LCT, but he's denied by Oli. Is this one going to drop back into the net off the backboard? It goes off everyone, and then the bar, and it's cleared away.
I like that at least OSM is trying to steal some boost and keep Gladiators stuck in their own ends, so so Gladiators can have the freedom to move forward. And that was almost Gladiators, like you said, getting their first one on the board. That one goal they did get in game 1 was a little bit late. Good protection off the back wall for Gladiators, but Oli is so good at robbing them of the ball. It almost connects with Atomic there to pass, and Max is just trying to get this out.
Oli's throwing fakes after fakes. He did it in game 1 as well, you know, pretending to go into that challenge hard and then pulling off. He did it again there. He's getting the camera as well. But still, G1 happy to sit on this 3-goal lead. And right now, the offense is cooking. Gladiators, again, just have no semblance of possession so far.
I see a lot of waiting from Gladiators where you can applaud the patience, but not if it's going to be costing goals. They're not challenging. They're letting G1 try to complete these passes. And if Gladiators are going to wait and sit in the net, then you just have to have perfect reads, perfect predictions on where these shots are going to come from. But you need to see more presence from the Gladiators. There it is. They're demoing. This gives them some room to breathe, but not if they don't have the ball. They can't produce anything.
Yeah, you got to get something going. Demos can certainly beat that. And Oli, a hat trick for him. Off the ceiling he goes, and it just feels like G1 can do no wrong.
This is the newest signing of this roster. Clearly is showing up when G1 needed to the most. Just like he did in game 1. G1 is on fire with the kind of same scoreline that happened in game 1 going into the second half. But a kickoff that may favor Gladiators. The double commit from G1 lands that 50 right to the ground, where you gotta see Gladiators keep up that momentum, that same pressure that G1 presents. Gladiators now have their backs down. G1 went for the corners. Max could hit the double tap, and LCT steps up, and all the spaghetti's on the floor.
And even with all the chaos there inside the box, it just feels like Gladiators can't get a quality shot off. Atomic's pre-jumped, and he's been found. Back to Dorito. Can he tap this one in? Oli comes across. Can Dorito put this one on target? But it's just not enough power. And G1 getting fancy with it, and weren't able to break through there. But with a 4-goal lead, you can pre-jump passes or whatever you want. Doesn't really matter.
LCT taking it to the skies, but G1 are committing more members just to stifle that speed from Gladiators. At least some of the speed they have, but not enough coverage in the net, and G1 slammed the 5th one in.
Well, so far here in these first 1 and 4 minutes of a game in this series, people were questioning G1 after the Elevate loss. I think they're putting a lot of doubt to rest here so far. Quality game and series from G1 at the moment. The offense has been stellar, and Gladiators have had no answer through almost 2 games now.
Ooh, LCT almost tried to dunk it in after G1. They've double committed a few times as Gladiators had possession, and it's enough to overpower them. Oh, it's up to Max, and the shot not on target.
Opportunities here for Gladiators, and they can just find each other No clean passes out to the midfield as well. It's been a big pain point for them. Nobody's getting a clean shot. It's always a really tough shot or a powerless one. And here comes G1. You got to look out for the backboard. Oli for 2. He's not going to find the angle. G1. Someone like Oli sitting on a hat trick. You know it's been a good game. And with 20 seconds left, Gladiators are just looking for something to go into this next intermission.
I like the potential of that counterattack that Gladiators had when Dorito had that awkward touch in the midfield, had Gladiators with the ball with some speed, but that was just for 1 goal, where Gladiators are down by 5. G1, we had questions and they have an answer. They're up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, so far, exactly what I think it should be for G1, right? Despite what happened yesterday, we talked about it. It just feels like they should be performing at a higher level, and they're showing that here against Gladiators. The other side of things, Gladiators, a lot to talk about. Huge pain points for them when you talk about the kickoffs. Even though not every single one has been a goal, there's been very, very close calls on their side, but then just breaking out from their own end. And we said they have a lot to talk about. They're going to take a timeout here to think things over. But they need a new game plan, right? You mentioned some demos. I think that's a great idea from Gladiators if they can actually pull it off. They need some sort of possession breaking out from their side, because it feels like G1, they've suffocated them.
Just Gladiators a bit too slow to get on the ball, just not challenging as much as they have. Yes, they've had more shots than how game 1 went. Still mostly control from G1. Gladiators just slow to the pitch where there's a potential of a setup. There's a potential of a speedy counterattack. And I think the best shot that Gladiators had was the pass to Max that he whiffed to the left, and then there wasn't a recovery. They didn't find the rebound. And even if you miss one, it's how you're able to bounce back from that can give you a second chance. But Gladiators didn't have second chances on those offenses.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, is after the play was done, they're right back on defense, trying to field a counterattack. But even in those passes that you're talking about from Max, he had one in game 1 and here in game 2. But both times, G1 had all of their defense in front of him. He had to go through multiple players, even his own teammates, to put away these shots. So he hasn't been really given a quality chance. And it feels like that's been the story for Gladiators, right? Is they haven't been able to generate a high quality chance. And I think that's reflected in the shots and in the scores you see so far. Realistically though, if I'm talking to this team right now, you've got to get through the first minute without conceding. I mean, both games, it's been bang, 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 1, 2, 3 goals, and you're down 2 or 3 goals, and it's such a bad spot to start a game.
Even in these moments where you have G1 double committing on multiple occasions, once they're on the defense to once Gladiators or LCT is flying in with the ball, yeah, the 50 comes right down, but Gladiators just gotta be ready. You are expecting those 50s, you're expecting those challenges out of G1. What do you do once you're in that orange end? That's what Gladiators need to think about in that timeout. We'll see if they can produce more than 1 goal, and so far it's G1 swinging.
And I like the idea of a timeout here in game 3 or before game 3. Because with the way this one's going, G1 looking to close this series out. And for Gladiators, you want to take that timeout, try and make some changes. And then if you lose this game, you still have another one. Not the pressure of the entire season is behind the next game, which is where this one's leading so far with the way G1's been playing. So we'll see if Gladiators can get anything going here. You're looking for possession out of their own end. You're looking to bring in G1 defensively, or offensively rather. And right now, it's not happening. Atomic's gonna put one on target. A couple shots there from G1. It's Gladiators having to field it.
And the passes are more successful out of G1, which creates these deadly opportunities that make Gladiators panic and die for it. You got to see Gladiators connect in that same way. We talked about the synergy, the years of experience they have playing together, but you don't always see it on the field, and the LAN environment is quite different. G1, especially Oli, has been on fire though, so it's, yes, Gladiators not at their peak, but G1 trying to get back to theirs.
Certainly, especially when you're sitting 0-2 in Swiss. And so far, I think a big confidence boost, right, for G1. But right now, game 3, starting off a lot better for Gladiators. That demo opened up some space in the backfield, but on the spawn, Oli's able to make the clear. Max trying to slip it through. Still a tie ball game here as Gladiators finally able to get through the first minute without disaster.
OSM, I see him trying to be as productive as possible. Like, went for the demo, had 0 boost, is going up the wall, still trying to set up a play, isn't rotating out. He's always trying to be involved. He puts the energy on the field. You need to see Gladiators not only be inspired by that, but their counterpart of Elevate and how they made G1 struggle. But it's Gladiators on the short end of the stick there, as G1, they were up 4-0 on the first 2 games in that first half, and that has surely slowed down a bit.
Some good defensive stops there from Gladiators as well. And OSM, I think, wanted 2, but he got bumped off. LCT tried to force it. And now G1, no boost from Dorito. G1 trying to find their first, but maybe it's Gladiators. OSM, can he get this one? It's going to go straight towards the net, and Noli is there to make the save.
That was an important touch from Max just now when he was in this 1v2 scenario. And Dorito had to dodge the bump. So G1 almost had their first chance there to strike. Oli being too patient. LCT collides with him, gets him out of the play. Max not putting the shot on target, trying to maintain possession for Gladiators, but G1 get a decent clear, buys them some time, buys them some space. Oli crossing to different sides of the net, to the pass.
Oh,
Max misses the touch off the back wall, and G1 capitalizes.
And you can feel Oli just chase this one across the field, and a touch to the backboard, that hard stuff to read. Max couldn't get to it, and Oli there to put it home. G1 find their first, but it took them 3 minutes this time as the Gladiators defense have been able to hold them off up until this point.
We don't need Max Ew. We need maximum on the field, okay? There's been a few opportunities, either a critical save that missed or a critical shot that he could have taken to keep Gladiators at, I'm not saying a winning position, but alive and well, signs of life, a breath of fresh air. Gladiators are ramping up, but G1 are the ones that have consistently had the lead. Here's OSM sailing across. That stopped, and again, the momentum from Gladiators immediately sent away.
Gladiators have been outscored 11-1 so far in this series. But game 3 looking to be a much closer affair as this one goes towards net. OSM is able to turn it away. Max trying to get this one out from his own end, but it's not going to happen. It goes straight back into the hands of G1. We're just holding that midfield line. Only another flip reset and an extra touch. So no one's able to follow up, and LCT and OSM combined to get this one out.
LCT giving up. I'm not seeing him go for these challenges. He's kind of present on the field, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, but always the second behind. Max misses that touch. Dorito in the one-on-one versus OSM. You got a demo on the G1. As Gladiators might have just slowed them down enough to move forward. OSM and Max powering their way through, but to the right side is LCT there. Is Max ready? No, G1 with a clear.
30 seconds left. Gladiators, this is the closest it's been for them. Can they make the difference? LCT can't get there in time. And this one goes back to the Gladiators side. He got the demo. Now OSM through 1, but Oli's right there. G1 close rotations, making it tough for Gladiators to break out.
That was a great demo coming out of G1. That was a deadly pass coming out of Gladiators that should have and could have been on target. 5 more seconds. A G1 have to hold on to go to match point, to stay alive, to go to Sunday. But Gladiators, yeah, gotta keep it up. OSM has a bit of boost, but it gets away. G1 3-0 in the series.
And a much, much closer game. Gladiators certainly had some time to think about this, and it's paid off, right? They have not been run over here in game 3, but now backs against the wall. And I feel that from OSM. Been a frustrating series, and now your season on the line here. Could be the final game of your season.
I thought he was giving me crew vibes where they were kind of napping, they're chilling, but that was more of a frustrating eye close than the I'm relaxed eye close.
Yeah. Oh, you can feel it. I mean, it's been a frustrating series, especially when you've been stomped in the first 2 games. At least this one felt like it was winnable for Gladiators. And that was the only goal there, was a great touch, second touch there from Oli. But there were a lot more like this where Gladiators had a great defense and they were able to turn away G1 on the goal line. But it wasn't like Gladiators had that much more offense. They had 5 shots here against the 10 of G1. But like I said, possibly the final game. Gladiators pull this one out. It doesn't matter if you have a scooter injury from LCT. You got to push through.
Yeah.
Apparently he injures his mice too. He breaks a mouse every couple months. I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Is it out of frustration, or is it just like overuse, or what is he doing to those mice?
Well, Gladiators got to be inspired by whatever energy LCT is putting out there. But also, they were tweeting out that they, quote, could do the funniest thing ever of having both Elevate and GG beat G1, as in maybe even giving also APAC their second win at Wildcard. I think it's also that regional representation that's important for every single team that's here. Gladiators just winning a game at all. It's gotten close to beating that high score. And we've casted that last series where throughout the series they make the improvement.
Yep.
But it's G1 that made that 24-hour improvement. Atomic not in position on that right side as that ball crossed dangerously in front of the Gladiators net.
And that's where you have hope for Gladiators, right? Because throughout these series they do improve. They look better and better. As is this one going to trickle in for our post? It doesn't. But even against Moist, Gladiators had the same exact type of series where they get stomped for a couple games and then they start to figure it out. They're very good at adapting to their opponents, and you're seeing that in the previous game as LCT has to make a touch to save this one away. He's found himself in that third man position quite a bit for Gladiators in this series, and he's made a couple of crucial saves. So OSM trying to break out for Gladiators.
Still G1 chasing this ball to keep that offense going. They feel like Gladiators are at their weakest, and G1 are trying to prove that right. So much presence from G1 on this offense, deciding to fall back. Here's Oli and Dorito stacked in front of the net. OSM couldn't flick it above. LCT for a setup towards the back wall where Dorito's already positioned. Goal line save by Oli as Max needs to readjust, but couldn't maintain that possession. G1 just barreled their way through the midfield.
Yeah, great look there for Gladiators, and a quality save from G1 in fairness. But a lot more possession now going over to Gladiators. And the chances are certainly there. And honestly, they have been. It hasn't been a lot, but there have been plenty of chances for Gladiators throughout this series. One of their better looks. As G1, oh my goodness, Atomic's already there, and he's gonna drop it down. G1 in the lead off a worldly of a touch.
The passes have been beautiful throughout the series for G1. Look at that in midair, and Gladiators tried to climb up there, and two of them tried to read where that ball was gonna land, but you gotta applaud G1 for that. That gives them a lead.
And OSM now trying to get one off the kickoff. Again, Gladiators have only scored a single goal. It was back in game 1. And a couple of good looks here for Gladiators so far, but they just still cannot break the net here as Max looking for some space. Dorito will allow him to cough it up and work his way out of his own corner.
Hey, OSM getting eager with it. The pass to LCT! Making an impression of G1. Finally, you can see Gladiators connect the dots.
Yeah, and OSM got a little let's go out of him there. It's a good pass from OSM. Out quickly down off the ceiling, straight on top of his teammate's head. And Gladiators finally back on the board here in game 4, finding the equalizer.
That's LCT stepping up as that second man, where OSM has had multiple setups. Where Max hasn't been on target, but whatever rotations Gladiators got to do to make the magic happen, they tie it up. It's winnable for both sides, but it's match point for G1. A lot of pressure on Gladiators. OSM to the cross, rotates to the right. G1 collide on the back wall, but Gladiators had a shot and wasn't on the net.
That's been the struggle. They can't afford to give up one late here. Just under 2 minutes to go. But it's up to OSM here to make this save. Here comes Oli. He's been dangerous on the ball. Flippery said Atomic was there as well, but maybe back the other way. This one would have gone in if it was on target.
LCT with a fantastic bump, being able to read those passes from G1 better, knowing that's the key to their success. Now a demo on the field and some control for G1, waiting for the approach of Gladiators, baiting them out. Fast rotations for Gladiators to get back to that blue half. Now here's the counterattack. It's what we wanted to see more of from the Gladiators, but G1's challenges, they've been winning a lot of them to take back the ball whenever Gladiators feel like they can generate something, and Atomic dunks it in for G1.
And you can see, I think it was LCT was the first man to go. He jumped up for it, tried to get the save. Max came down and actually made the save, but G1, again, they just swarm the box when the defense is exposed, and a 1-goal lead back to G1, just over a minute left to play.
Could be the end of the road for Gladiators, and a kickoff favor of Gladiators as well. Pinching it down low, catching G1 off guard with a tie 2-2.
And what a response from OSM. And Max was just trickling this one into the box, and he's trying to punch players out of the way. It's actually insane that that one found at the back of the net with 2 players from G1 holding that near post. Just under a minute, and we're tied up.
Threading the needle. Gladiators, fantastic job off of the kickoff, too, to maintain that pressure, being present, maybe even assisting each other. If you know G1 are winning a lot of those challenges, gotta send a second player to get involved. Gladiators did just that, found success. So OSM trying to pass it. Max too far behind, giving up a lot of space for G1. Start pounding some shots in. Even G1 looking for bumps, but still haven't found the gap quite yet. Atomic to Oli, 2 in the net, almost collide, but it's a save for LCT.
20 seconds left. Opportunity for Gladiators to steal away a game, or it could be Oli to put this one to bed, and a good save from LCT to get a second touch. Maybe it's Gladiators to steal this one away. Dorito, the last man. It's dangerous here. Can Max get it off the backboard? It's denied by Dorito. LCT trying to keep it up. Gladiators an opportunity at the last second, but it's brought down, and G1 forced an overtime.
Ooh, an overtime for G1 to sweep the series, to shut everybody up for good, or at least give themselves into the conversation for Sunday. Gladiators want to stay alive in the series. OSM with the demo, 3 on 2. Max on top of the ball first. Oli rotates in time. It's Gladiators with the back pass, just trying to maintain the ball. LCT, though, not ready on that left side. Almost a moment for G1 to strike.
It's on the screen a moment ago, but Moist 4-0ing. Gladiators counterpart Elevate on the alternate stream. Of course, they're not out quite yet. The Gladiators facing elimination. Can they stay alive in this series? And they've been poking, they've been prodding against this G1 defense. G1 certainly has slowed down offensively. It's not the same that we saw in the first couple games.
Yeah, Oli was very loud on the offense, but he's speaking up defensively, and in this overtime, that matters a lot still for them. Dorito and Oli trying to find the pass. OSM bumped out of the way. Atomic dives for it before Max could react. Gladiators making sure it doesn't land in front of the net, but you gotta see follow-up. You gotta see Gladiators still being eager. As Max versus Atomic, the 50 up into the air. LCT, Dorito reaching for, getting a hand up. G1 winning the challenge, getting the space. But it's Gladiators just having their heads above water, but not necessarily swimming. As Max waits for the approach of G1. Looks to get to LCT, and OSM has to save that before G1 did anything with it.
A bit dicey there from Gladiators for a second. Good work, though. Again, keeping this one close and not allowing as much freedom that G1 had.
Atomic
this
to Dorito!
One, almost a second touch for Dorito, but he can't find it. And now Gladiators on the attack, the counter rather. Max forcing the shot, and Oli is there to make the save.
LCT not doing a lot of pre-jumps to put himself in position. Atomic to the back wall, collides with 2 of the defenders. And Gladiators at least looking for the clear, but it's weak and it's tough. They get in front of the ball. G1 get on top of it, try to shake up the possession. But Gladiators wait on their back wall to not let a play go through. It's a double commit for Gladiators! The cross!
He went too high!
The MVP for Gladiators! And G1 leave it unattended. And that was the moment for Gladiators to sink or swim, as G1 continue to find these moments that may be catching Gladiators in a mistake. Gladiators with some midfield presence, but not a push to get out of this end. They've been on defense forever. It's just inevitable for G1 to end this overtime in their favor.
It's been decent discipline here from Gladiators. Even when moments get super dicey for them, they get tough for them to make the save, they're still able to get out. Oli, couple clip resets. We'll get a demo, and it's returned by OSM. 3 minutes of overtime. And Gladiators trying to step up to the plate here. They've been playing defense for so long now. Atomic has to make the save and the clear. and does just so as G1 looking to reset as Dorito doesn't make the touch. Okay. What is happening?
A fake, I guess, and then a Devo, and Gladiators. You don't know quite what to expect from them. Being unpredictable maybe can land them a goal. To the back of the car, though. Doesn't go on target. These Gladiators looking for clears, but not following up with the balls, so G1 had this never-ending offense, it felt like, at the start of this overtime. We're almost at 4 minutes. And Gladiators, they had that one chance where they were at that orange half. Now they can do this again. LCT going forward, but this goes right to Atomic, who's had some very quick reactions for G1 defensively to make good stops in this OT.
14 shots to 9 in favor of G1, and 15 could do it. That was too high. Atomic will put it home and put Gladiators to bed. G1 on top in the 4-0.